in '88. Since that time, of course, the tour players found out about it. They had rights to all the data, and they started changing their wedges. You know, it used to be in the old days when I was growing up, if you had a favorite old wedge that you'd used for 25 years, well, that was a jewel. That was the best thing you could have. But that was because there was a report back in the, I don't even know when it was, Cochran and Staub Search for the Perfect Swing tested 5-irons and said that grooves don't matter on the faces of clubs. Grooves aren't important. 5-irons without grooves hit the ball with the same backspin as 5-irons with grooves. Now, the funny thing about that is if you think about it, you can understand that. There's a golf ball here, and there's a driver, for example, coming right at it, and it compresses the ball on the face of the ball and jumps off. Whether that face has grooves in it or not doesn't matter. The ball's not sliding on the face. But take that same club and turn it to 60 degrees, which is the loft of a 60-degree lob wedge that you have around the greens. You hit a ball, and the ball moves up the face. Now, those grooves matter tremendously. Tour players over the years, Jim knows we've worked with so many of them. If they have if they practice a lot in the sand, the faces of their wedges, they have grooves in them. They're kind of pressed in or formed in or cast in, and then the face is sandblasted. They sandblast the face to create friction. The sand hits the face, bounces off the face, and leaves little pop marks. As soon as you turn that blade sideways and put it through the sand, the exact opposite happens. All the pock marks are taken off, the face gets smooth. If the sand can make the face have friction, it can also take the friction off. That face is that soft. Now that's steel. You've seen the tour player's wedge after a couple of years. The bottoms are worn, the face is worn, the grooves are rounded edges. You can't really put spin on the ball out of grass. Now the innovation that we have in these wedges is that the faces are a different material than the clubs themselves. The clubs are a soft forged steel. It's really, really a nice feeling club. But setting in that, embraced in a cavity here, with a little weight removed to make it really well balanced, is a piece of material that is almost 2 or 3 times harder to machine than normal stainless steel. Now, that's not too bad. I mean, you can do it. But then the trick comes. Then you heat treat it. You take it to a certain temperature, you cool it at a certain rate, and it becomes so wear resistant. It's not really hard or brittle. It doesn't become like ceramic. It becomes wear resistant. Before they heat treat that face, they machine the face texture to cause the friction on the face to be the same as when a new club is sandblasted. The difference being sand won't take it off. It lasts. What is your guess now? I mean, the data is going to be here in a week, so you'll see the graphs. But
it'll last at least 3 years, David. I mean, it does drop a bit, but if you compare the wear on that wedge, probably in 3 years it wears what a normal wedge would wear in about 2-3 months.
Now, so that's like 10 times the wear. Tour players that change wedges every month, they change wedges certainly every major. This could save a lot of effort. I mean, I'm looking forward to some of the guys getting these and saying, once I get used to this wedge, once I learn its characteristics, they'll stay with me for a while. The innovation is starting with machine grooves. Now, when you machine them, on a CNC milling machine, you can, by computer, tell it what to do. So you don't skirt around, you don't make all your clubs with grooves that are way off the maximum from the USGA so that none of them will be out of tolerance, because there's always a variation in casting or forging. These are machined in, so they get right to the edge of what's allowable, and then you make them wear resistant. Then you keep them there. That's the innovation that is tremendously different.
Yeah. Is that like cryogenics, the heating process?
Yeah, it's a heat treat process.
Heat treat. It's heating before.
It's common in metals industry, aerospace. It's the material is heated for 4 hours at over 1,000 degrees Celsius and really cooled. It goes down about 150 degrees very, very quickly. That changes the grain structure of the metal, and that makes it much tougher, much more wear resistant, harder, all those characteristics. And because we use a 3M membrane that attaches the base material to the body, the 3M material is a little bit, it's kind of a plastic, so it also absorbs some of the shock. So when